Gallery TV.
Welcome to the program found Gallery TV. In today's episode, we have come to visit the farm of Wole, that is none other than Patrick Wole, the CEO of Wole Mixed Farm School and Skilling Center, located in Abinu Cell, Lamla Ward, Kokoro Town Council in Marta District, 21 kilometer Arua City on Koboko Orawa Road, that is 600 meter off Okokoro Olovo Road in West Nile region. In his farm, biosecurity is the key. Whoever comes in the farm has to go through safety measures, that is by putting your feet in disinfectant to avoid carrying germs and diseases inside the farm. Wole Mixed Farm is based on the principle of zero wastage, whereby nothing is left out without being used. They also use those wastages from cow, from human wastage and other resources. They use it in biogas. So here he has taken us through the process.
You should understand that this is Wole Mixed Farm. And Wole Mixed Farm is founded on 3 principles. The first principle is the principle of zero waste. Ideally, what we do here is we transform all forms of wastes into wealth. The idea is to create a kind of recycling system where we have regenerativity, and where we have also a kind of system where nothing goes to waste. And this is very key, because if you look at the West Nile food systems, we have a lot of wastage. Wastage which possibly could have created for us maybe a very good source of income, and also something very good for soil enhancement. So based on that principle, we came up with systems which ensure that we have zero waste, which of course we shall go to. The second principle that we focus on is local innovations for local problems, because we believe that the best approach to handling especially rural innovation is to look at what this farmer is doing and then bring in the concept of modernity and let them blend. So usually our starting point on this farm is we do what the farmers can easily adapt, technologies that they can adapt. And of course the third concept is scaling. We thought that knowledge which is shared is knowledge which is enlightened. So we believe so much in sharing whatever knowledge we have here, and that is why we thought it very, very important to have a skills development center, so that all these innovations, all these technologies that we are having here, we can be able to let people know about it. So you are basically most welcome to the first section. We have 3 sites. This is site A, and site A aims to show people that however small something is, however small your land is, you should not despair. You can still do something big. And then of course we have site B and then site C. So in site A, the first technologies we try to showcase here is the biogas technology. Biogas is a form of clean energy, and biogas is generated from wastes. We have a lot of wastes here. For example, we have waste from the cows, we have waste from the pigs, we have waste from the chicken, and all of this we believe could help to generate some energy. So we have a whole system of biogas. This is a closed dome system. We are using both animal and human waste. What you see here is what we call the feeder. This is where we feed, and we usually get cow dung. You mix the cow dung. After mixing, you are able to release it, and it is able to enter into what we call the digester. Now in this digester, through anaerobic respiration, that is respiration in the absence of oxygen, methane gas is produced. And of course this methane gas travels through the pipe and it ends up in the kitchen, that we shall see how it works. But the gas itself is not the end product for us, because we are believing so much in zero waste. What is the end product for us here is the slurry. what we call the bio slurry. When you look at the bio slurry, it is something like this. This is what we call bio slurry. You can see that this is generated from waste, but even if you smell, there is nothing which smells here. And this bio slurry, you see, this is where our gold is, because one, this is a pesticide in the sense that when you strain this liquid and then when you mix it, a ratio, usually we do a ratio of 20 liters to 5 liters of this, it becomes a very, very good pesticide. That is one.
20 liters of water.
20 liters of water into 5 liters of this bio slurry, it becomes a very good pesticide. It can repel a lot of pests, from thrips, from caterpillars, and of course other sucking insects for our plants. You'll be able to see what it can do in the field. Most of what we do here, actually, we use bio slurry as a pesticide. Second, it's a very, very good fertilizer. It basically has a very good component of NPK. Yeah, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And aside from that, this is also feed for the animals, especially for the pigs, because the slurry produced, since it goes through that anaerobic process, it has a hell of proteins. So at the ratio of 1:1, that means 1 part of the bio slurry into 1 part of any carbohydrate source. You let it stay for 24 hours, it blends in, it becomes very good feed, especially for the pigs, and this is how we feed our pigs. So through this collective biogas technology, we've been able to harness pesticides, we've been able to harness fertilizers, organic fertilizers, and we've been able to reduce our cost for feeds, especially for the pigs, by using this system. And it is a very clean form of energy, because most of the times our students use biogas energy for heating water, for preparing tea, thus bringing down the cost of operations instead of buying a hell of charcoal and firewood. So this is the first way in which we try to ensure that we have a sustainable environment using clean energy, and then we also have other applications of this waste product of the clean energy. Thus we have a zero waste system operating here.
I wish we could have a look at how it is operated.
Yes, that is good. You can come. You can see this is our kitchen, especially for the students. So what we do, we put it on. After putting it on, and then of course this is how it is, okay, and then we're able to light it, and you can be able to put for yourself food to be cooked like that. So it gives us really, really very, very clean what energy. And you can also put here, so this we usually feed it like 45 kilograms of cow dung every day, and that is able to cook for us for 8 hours, constant like this. And it's so strong, you can see, so strong. The flame is so strong that whatever you put, if you are not careful, it can easily burn. Yes, so that's what we always use for cooking. And this is one concept of clean energy. This is one concept of sustainable environmental management that we have on the farm. You want to put it off?
Yes, please.
There you are, and then you turn it off.
Very simple.
Yes, it's a very simple form of energy. Young puppies, the mother can be very rough. So
produce the one on
it has around 11 of them. Yes, so
you do sell them?
Yeah, we do. We also have a lot there. So you're welcome this way, but be very careful with the mother. Everywhere we have biosecurity, you have to ensure that you kind of step here. So this is our poultry section. For now, we do not have poultry because we are doing stock taking. But I think by next week we shall be having. So if by next week you can come again, we'll see. You'll be able to find poultry there.
Not only Wole mixed farm deals in poultry keeping and animal husbandry, they also deal in maggot farming.
You are welcome to our second section. This is the BSF section. It's also one of the concepts.
BFS means?
BSF means the black soldier fly. It's also one of the concepts of sustainable environmental management. Everything here goes back to the zero waste concept. So the BSF in full is called the black soldier fly.
Come and show them the flies.
Now this black soldier fly you see here is one of the most unique flies that one can ever have. Of course it belongs to the family of insects, yes, but it is under the class we call it Hematia illusions. This Hematia family of flies, or what we call the black soldier fly, it's a very, very unique fly. It is very unique in the sense that, one, it has very less expendable energy. It means that it cannot fly for long. Number two, this fly does not spread diseases because of its feeding habits. An ordinary fly will always release some anticoagulants while it is feeding, and this always causes issues. But this black soldier fly will only sucks water or sucks juice in order to survive. This same black soldier fly you see here, one black soldier fly like this can be able to lay for you between 600 to 800 eggs. Just a very single fly like this.
In how many duration?
It has a period of 3 days. Usually these flies live just for a period of 1 week. Then after that they die. Yes, they die off. And so they can be able to give you all that type of eggs, and these eggs can be incubated into larvae, and later on when these larvae are fed.
When they lay egg, how do you collect the eggs?
Yes, we shall come to that. But you can see these are all
eggs.
Larvae. Already they have hatched. Now after they have hatched like this, they are called 5-doll. That means 5-day-old larvae. So after they are 5-day-old, we are now able to feed them on any organic waste, cow dung,
food waste,
any food waste, anything that is organic from the farm. So once we feed them for around 18 to 21 days, and then you can see they will turn into mature larvae. Okay, once they are now into the mature larvae thing, then our next thing is we can now be able to blanch them, to kill them, and once we are dry them, we can be able to do any formulation of feeds. Now once we have been able to feed them, whatever you see here is now called the frass. This is first class fertilizer that we use in our gardens. So the whole cycle keeps on going. Now to understand the life cycle of this fly, let us again go back to our love cages here. These are what we call love cages. It takes you between 31 to 45 days in order to achieve a complete cycle, depending on what you want. And the cycle is the eggs, the larva, the pupae, and the adult. Okay. Now usually what happens when these flies turn into adults, we prepare for them what we call an attractant. Now an attractant is a combination of a number of things that can be able to attract these flies in order to come and lay eggs. And for them to lay eggs, we need boxes like this. These boxes are called eggies. Okay. These eggies are in such a way that you have crevices where they can ovideposit their eggs, and after ovidepositing their eggs, this attractant you see here calls them and says, this is food for you, larvae to eat, and this is where you can hide their eggs. So because of that, they will all be attracted. I think they just put this recently. We check. They put these ones yesterday. We check if there are eggs there. We don't have eggs here. Let me see if we can be able to find one where the eggs. We have these boxes here. You can see the crevices here, and so they most times ovideposit eggs in the middle. Since these were put yesterday, we keep on checking, but usually what happens is each of these holes after 3 days is most likely to have eggs. Let me see here, it's not there. Let me see here. You can see there's a deposit here. There's one I see there. Let me try to remove it. There you are. The boxes have themselves. This one has started. You can see there. This is what? This is an egg. This is a batch by only one fly. This egg, as I said, it has fallen here. Let's first pick it as a sample. You can see it has a lot of those are all eggs. As I told you, you have between 600 to 800 what eggs. 100 to 800 what eggs. Yeah, they ovideposit them here, and then from after collecting this, at times we collect like over 1 kilo of eggs from here. Yes, so after collecting these eggs, you can see this one. This one is already long due. Yes, this one is already long due. That means it has already overstayed. Yes, so we always have eggs all over here and all over here. So after picking these eggs, we now come.
So when the egg overstayed, it dies off.
They will hatch. They will hatch, but now they will hatch in a very disorganized manner. Most cases, when they hatch, they will fall back in the what? In the substrate. So the next stage is now we get what we call we either get rice bran or we get maize bran, and then we're able to mix it in such a way that it is a little bit watery. Yes, like this. Okay, so once we mix it like this, we now put the eggs here, and within 5 days the eggs will hatch into what we call 5-day-old what larvae. Okay, so when we get this larvae, it is now it's time to inoculate. Inoculation means you're going to add more substrate for it to feed. So when we come to this section, this is where the substrate must always be fermented. You can see here down here we have collected chicken poop. We have mixed it, okay, with rice bran and other organic waste, and then you put them in a drum like this, airtight, to ferment. So once they are fermented, the purpose of fermenting is to ensure that there is no much heat generated, because there's so much heat will kill them. So once it is fermented, you are now ready to inoculate. Inoculation is something like this. Usually we do 15 kilograms of this, and then we put like 40 grams of that 5-day-old larvae. So they just keep on feeding and they keep on increasing in size. Can see they keep on increasing in size until when they reach the time when they're ready for harvesting. And for you to harvest, you have to take into account the bulk and then the maximum protein percentage. Okay, yes, the smaller they are, the higher the protein percentage. The longer they stay, the lower the protein percentage. But it has been known that the BSF has protein percentage of up to 50%. So as they keep on growing, their color keeps on changing. Okay, until finally when they achieve a dark color. And this dark color is now what we call pupae. Now you see all this, these are pupae. So they are now going to turn into the adult what? Flies. And some of these pupae, we shall leave them so that they become for us what? Adults. And so the whole cycle, the full cycle continues. And so when they reach that stage, like where what she's doing, the next thing is to kind of sheave them. Okay, we have the shiver. These are the shivers.
There's one there.
You can see here. So what we simply do, like she's doing, we pour them here. After pouring, you now do what? You sheave. Okay, you sheave them. So after sheaving them very well, remember this is now very good manure like this. You now boil water. The water should be around boiling point, and then you are going to immerse this. That's the process we call blanching. So once you put it in water for 3 seconds, they'll all die. And once they die, you are ready to take them where? To the solar dryer, which is down there.
So in case someone want to buy the what? The eggs, or you sell the one which are ready? Do you sell them?
Usually, if a farmer is starting, the first thing that we have to do is we train the farmer. After training the farmer, we give you those pupae. We can give you a kilo of pupae. Usually a kilo of pupae is like 15,000. And then you go and start. Or additionally, we also give you eggs. Yeah, we also, aside from eggs, we can give you the 5-day-old what? 5-day-old larvae. Yes.
That is so great.
So this still is the poultry section.
Wole Mixed Farm specifies on 1-month-old production of broiler chicken and also keeps local birds like ducks, guinea fowl, turkey, and local chicken.
So all this is the poultry section. Only challenge is for now we don't have chicken, but by next week the whole section will be full of what? Full of chicken. Each of these rooms can put up to 1,000 chicken. Yes. And
do you specify in a type of chicken you are keeping, or you keep any breed?
Now at the moment we are doing 1-month-old Krayler chicken, because we came to realize that there are people who do not have the time to do brooding, and brooding is one of the most complicated elements of poultry farming. So we have realized that if we really did brooding for farmers, and this chicken goes through that 1-month-old period where they are vaccinated, and then we give it out to people, we'll be able to really improve the livelihoods of people. So what we are doing actually now is we are focusing on only 1-month-old what? Production of Kraylers. We get these Kraylers from certified companies. After getting them, we raise them for 1 month and we sell them out to what? To farmers. I think last year alone we sold like around 120,000 of these 1-month-old to farmers, because in a month we are selling like around 2,500 of these chicken to farmers.
1 month old.
1 month.
How much do you sell it?
A 1 month old only goes for between 9,000 to 10,000 shillings. Yes, if you buy in bulk, we give you at 9,000. Then if you really buy in small, we give you at 10,000. And so it means that if you're raising like 1,000 of this 1 month old chicken, your total income can be like around 10 million shillings, and you can spend like around 8 million shillings feeding them within that 1 month. So it means you basically have a return of what? Of 2 million, which is very good money. And so really poultry farming is a very good thing. I will really encourage the youth to embrace this kind of thing. It's really a very good source of income, and it is hassle free. Yes. Then we have this other section here, which is for the locals. Usually you can see this was the last lot that was brought. I always bring 1 month, and once I sell them, I keep a sample. and this sample will be to monitor them to see how they are doing. So this was the last sample that I brought. This should be like now the 5th week that we are having them. They were all cleared in 1 week. So we keep them here so that we monitor out there. So when a farmer comes and says, oh, my chicken has a problem, we say, okay, what is the problem? But here we are, there's no problem. So what could be the problem? And we help such a farmer. We have local things here because I need an ecosystem which is working complete. The ducks, the jennifer's, the geese, the turkeys, you know, and it is a beauty feeding them locally. And you can see this structure here is what we call the solar dryer.
Oh, the one for...
Yes, you can put your head there and see how hot it is. When you're tied there for some time, you will not easily come out alive. And you know, this is a technology that we can be able to harness. It can be a very good business sense, in the sense that we have, especially during the fruit season, we have a lot of fruits which get what? Spoiled. So if the youth had something like this, that means you can dry the mangoes, prepare them very well, dry them and pack them. If you have greens, you wash them very well, you chop them, bring here and dry. So that now is the season of scarcity. You can be able to do what? Sell them into very big numbers. Yes. So this is the solar dryer, but we use it for drying what? Our BSF. Yes, these ladies and gentlemen, I think I don't know what they want from you people, but you can see the peace that these animals have. You can see the interactions they have. The ducks, the chicken, the jennifer's, the geese, but you know, it's just an interaction. You know, they are really interacting among themselves, and they are not fighting. They are even not biting the others. It's like a peaceful coexistence. Yes, and it is really so fun having that. And these jennifer's are very expensive because a pair now goes for 60,000. Okay. Yes, and the G's, we even have some G's which are, you can see, we have G's.
The man is red.
The man is protecting the female. Yes, and these are very funny. I think G's are monogamous. Because one man,
one woman. They also keep rabbits, which brings a lot of money in the farm because the pure rabbit goes up to 80,000 Ugandan shillings. He also analyzed the key important points in rabbit keeping as below.
Rabbits are very good investment. Reason being that they actually multiply very fast, and also they come in handy because of their feeding habits. It's very easy to manage them, especially since we have a lot of local feeds around. Now, for you to look at rabbits as a source of income, one, you have to ensure that the housing is very okay. Number two, you have to ensure that the genetics is perfect. Genetic meaning that you can have local, you can have exotic, or you can have crossbred genetics. Number three, you have to ensure that their feeding is up to date. And then number four, it's to do with management. Now, for the housing, rabbits need houses which can protect them from extreme of weather, and also which can protect them from predators. Especially rabbits are very prone to dogs, to cats, even lizards tend to eat their litter. So you have to ensure that the house that you construct must be able to cater for all this. But above all, the house must be having very good aeration, because when the aeration is not okay, there will be a lot of issues related to nasal congestion, to coughing and all that, which can be a serious problem. So you should ensure that the housing basically has really very good aeration. And in the housing there should also be a section. Here we have a section which is we call it the maternity ward, which is tight, dark, and it is divided into individual chambers, where when we see that a rabbit is about to deliver, we take it there. So basically the housing has to really have the characteristics of ensuring that the rabbit is free from predators, that there is enough aeration, and that the rabbit is protected from extremes of of temperature, that is the cold and the hotness. Number two, in terms of the genetics, usually it is advisable that you get the rabbits with the best quality meat, especially. For us, we have quite kind of a number of rabbits. We have the California, we have the New Zealand, we have the Polonino, we have the Rex, and we always get these local rabbits. When we get the local rabbits, we now crossbreed them and come up with a genetics which is very resistant to diseases, a genetic which is very easy to manage under our local conditions. Then of course we have the feeding part of it. Rabbits of course need water and they need food, and this food must be balanced. Rabbits must be fed on proteinous foods, they must be fed on carbohydrates, they must be fed on vitamins, and a little of the fats. And most of these items are got locally. You can feed them on blackjack, you can feed them on potato vines, you can feed them on cabbages, you can feed them on carrots. These are just things that we are able to grow around and we can easily feed them. But usually when you feed the rabbits on fresh vegetables, make sure that they are wilted. You put them in the sun and they dry for some time before finally you can be able to do it. You can be able to feed them, because when you feed them on very wet feed, some of this feed is infected. But when you wilt a little bit, some of the worms and other things may exit, so that you really have very good feeds for them. And then the management with rabbits, the management you need is water. Make sure rabbits drink enough water. Make sure that you clean their pen. Make sure it is cleaned almost every day, and it must be cleaned very, very well. Make sure that every time you call a veterinary doctor, and the veterinary doctor must be able to give the rabbits medication, especially medication to do with the deworming, especially medication to do with the antibiotics, because at times the rabbits have a lot of cough. Yeah, so when you do these very good management practices, then the rabbits are going to be very perfect. Yes. So that is how rabbit management should be. But the good thing with the rabbits is it's very nutritious. It has very, very good proteins. In a year, one rabbit can even give you over like 50 liter, and if you raise those 50 very well, it's a good source of income, because on average you sell rabbits here from between 50 to 90,000 shillings. Yes.
Wow. How do you use the rabbit urine?
Thank you. The rabbit urine can be used almost 3 times. One as a fertilizer, second as a pesticide, and then third, you can also use it for fertilizer. We always use it for the BSF, for mixing some of the substrates, because remember rabbit urine generally is very nutritious. So we use it actually threefold: a fertilizer, a pesticide, and even as a material for mixing the substrate for feeding our BSF. Yes.
That is so great.
As it stands, biosecurity is the key before accessing any unit in any farm we were told to disinfect our fish before accessing piggery unit. He took us through 4 major issues in piggery.
Now, before you go into pig farming, if anyone wants to venture into pig farming, you clearly have to look at the reason why you are going to raise the pigs, because that will give you the genetics. Pigs can be reared, 1, for pork, 2, for the piglets, 3, for manure, and 4, for the 3 of this. So someone can decide to raise, say, pigs. I need piglets, I need pork, and I need what? Manure. So these reasons will determine the type of pig that you purchase. You know, there are some pigs, for example, the Cambrogs. They have very good flesh and less fats. So those ones are reared for pork. When you look at large white, it is very huge with a lot of fat, but the pig has very good mothering what? Abilities. So people prefer taking care of them for piglets. Then when you look at our local breeds have a very low feed conversion. So much of the things they eat, they pass out. So they are always very good if you want to produce manure, because since the efficiency of their guts is very low in absorption, a lot of nutrients is passed out by them. So you choose. Now when you choose, the next question is, where are you going to put the pigs? Generally pigs need a pigsty, one which is well ventilated, has a higher roof, because pigs don't like too much what? Heat. But above all, one which is divided into paddocks and it's very easy to what? To clean. So in housing you can choose what we call concrete floor, where you have to sweep every day, or you can choose what we call the fermented bed technology, where you use indigenous micro. Then of course another thing that you have been able to see is the dairy. Now usually the system of dairy we use is what we call zero grazing, a system where the animals are kept inside and water, pasture and everything is given to them. Just like you saw, the structures talk a lot. For the goats and the dairy one, there is always a feeding area. This feeding area has watering troughs and feeding troughs. Then there is an area where there is milking, there's an area where there is the calf pen, there's an area where they rest called the resting pen, and then there is where we treat them called the crush, and then finally there is a small compound where they walk. So anyone who wants to venture into zero grazing dairy or even raising goats under that system, your house must have that kind of arrangement where they can rest, where they can eat, where they can walk around, and where they can sleep very what? Comfortably. For the cows we have concrete, but for the goats we usually allow them, their houses are what? Are raised. Now these animals need simply to be fed on a balanced diet. They need proteins, they need carbohydrates, they need vitamins, they need fats, and they need minerals. One cow, one dairy cow, which has the potential of giving you 35 liters of milk every day, fed and kept very well within West Nile, within our system, can give you between 15 to 20 liters of milk. And you can now imagine if, for example, you have 15 liters of milk, here we sell a liter 2,000. It means you have 30,000 shillings every day. And in 1 month, you can see you almost have 900,000 shillings. That is better than someone who is sitting in what? In an office. And all you need to do, just give it food and water, ensure where it sleeps is very okay, ensure that the hygiene is very okay, ensure that you give it periodic treatment, make sure there is always a veterinary. Issues to do with the ticks can kill the cow, just make sure that happens. The ticks are treated, you spray them very well, make sure that you give them dewormers, make sure that they have minerals, the mineral leak. Almost every time there should be mineral leak, and all is done. You will be able to get your milk, and you will walk your way into the bank smiling with a hail of money. That's really fun.
Welcome to Site B, where magic happens from planting in nursery bed up to harvesting stage. That is where magic happens in farming.
We're in Site B, and Site B starts with the nursery bed and or the seedling center. Of course, you know very well that in agriculture, production of quality seedling is the key. So we have quite a number of seedlings. We have grapes, grapes which are used for producing wine. Usually we sell each seedling at around 10,000 shillings. And it's an investment that you can have for your old age. You plant the grapes, and then every year twice you are harvesting the fruits, and these fruits can be very, very good. You can sell them in the market. You can also make wine. Of course, apart from the grapes, we also have seedlings for green pepper. We have seedlings for hybrid seedlings for skuma wiki or collards. We also have seedlings for strawberry. All of them are put within that section. And if you go into the greenhouse, you really see that here we have very, very good berries. Strawberries are high value crops. Many times people say they cannot do well in Uganda or even in Africa or in West Nile, but the strawberries actually in West Nile have turned to be more delicious because of the weather. And strawberry is something that the youth can embark on. The reason being, small but high value, because a kilo of strawberry goes for 40,000 shillings. So if, for example, like at times you harvest 50, you harvest at times 80 kilograms of strawberry, you take to the market. That means minimum you come with 800,000, which is really very good money. And to grow strawberries is very simple. Yes, they can do in a greenhouse like you can see, but they can also do outside. Yes, you can plant them outside. They only need enough water, and they also need enough manure, and they need pruning, okay, and they have timely harvesting. Once you do all these things, it becomes very easy. So I'm encouraging the youth out there, if they can embrace strawberry farming, then we have the market. We can bulk, we can come together, and we turn the story of West Nile from production of tobacco to production of strawberry. It will be a very good story if we can be able to do that, because surely the market is there. And even if the market fails, you do value addition. Market for wine will never fail. We have a generation of young people. We have a generation of people to be happy. So when you grow strawberries, you can turn them into very, very good strawberry wine, and that is already value addition. So it's very, very important that we take over strawberry farming. The conditions are just there, just water, very good manure, and that is it. You smile your way to the bank. Then of course, as you see here in this other section, we have urban farming. Very small land, maximum production. Imagine in these sacks how much onions is growing. Imagine in these tower gardens how much collard, how much onions are growing. So if people can be able to embrace these things, at times the best way to save is to save in food, to invest in food. When you eat very good food, when you have food from your garden, then it is done. So you really can see with very little soil, with very little land, what we are doing in terms of urban gardening. And you can see as we move outside here, you have this very vast land which is divided into blocks. You can see we have our carrots there. They are doing very, very well, though the soil is very bad. We've just harvested today and gotten some very good money. You can see the skuma wiki doing, you can see the sweet pepper, very green, and all this should be able to inspire, should tell people that in farming we can be able to generate income. We just need smart farming, and we need farming the correct way, as you can see. The same thing with aquaculture. You can see our aquacultural production here. We do fingerlings. A fingerling is at 500
shillings.
Yeah.
And imagine producing 120,000 fingerlings per month.
Yeah.
And all this is booked. These are ventures that the youth can get into. It's not a complicated thing. You only need to come to us to learn. And when you come to us to learn, we charge you 10,000 shillings a day. When you want the learning to be continuous, we have a school here, a skills development center, offering DIT courses, offering national certificates for 3 months, for 8 months, for 2 years. You can come and learn the things practically and go to do them. And the fish is one of the best investments because you only need water and the feeds. When you give them water and feeds and a little of your time, you're able to get some very good money. And you can keep different types of fish. You can keep mirror caps, like you saw the one with the, or you're seeing the one with the yellow mouth. You can keep tilapia, you can keep catfish. Most of it is catfish. You simply need to feed them very well, ensure the water is okay, and you will smile your way to the bank again. Yes.
Someone may wish to join the school. So how much can the person pay? Is tuition fee?
Yes.
And which level?
And
yes, depending on what the person wants. Because we have courses for everyone. For example, one, if you have never gone to school and you are still interested in agriculture, usually we have the workers pass, which is supposed to be for 8 months. You can, if you have a farm, you're attached to a farm, we can give you the modules, then you go and do your work, and then we register you with the DIT. They come to examine you, because it is assumed that a worker has skills, but these skills have not been qualified. So DIT has provided us with an opportunity. Usually for that, you pay an examination fee, which is 170, and you pay tuition, which is 300. Directorate of Industrial Training. It is the arm, which is, it's a litigate arm, which is responsible for what we call non-formal skilling. Yes, and it is equivalated as well to the formal skilling. Then that is workers pass. Then we have anyone who has studied up to primary 7 and has a PLE certificate. Even if the person failed completely, as long as there is the PLE certificate, he can do level 1. Level 1 goes for 8 months, and the total is 800,000. That is feeding, that is accommodation, that is other things. It's 800, and it is for 8 months. The way upon you are examined, when you achieve a level 1 certificate under DIT, it is equivalent to senior 4. It is equivalent to senior 4. Then those who have finished senior 4 can have 2 options. The first is have a national certificate in agriculture, which is examined by UBTEB. That will, the whole course with everything here will cost you like 4.3 million. That means we have 3 terms, and each term you're paying 680 each term. Yes, with the other small things, and you do it for 2 years. Then you have DIT level 2, which is equivalent to almost senior 6. That is also for 8 months, and you pay 800,000 shillings. Then we also have online courses. If you're an interested farmer, you have a face-to-face session of 2 months, and then 1 month practical in the field at a time of your you're choosing. And so these are the courses, these are the pathways we have. And then for those who just want, they have a farm, they already know a lot, but they need benchmarking. We also allow them come and benchmark, and they go with what they think is good for them.
So I can see you also keep bees.
Yes. Yes, we have an apiary section, and for us our bees are kept in a bee park. You saw the bee park as you see there. And we have a lot of hives. We have the KTB, we have the long hives, we have the long throats, and then we have the traditional hives. Usually bees are very good, but you must ensure that they are 100 meters away from the nearby home. You should ensure that you check them every month. You prune the combs to ensure that the old combs are away. You make sure you plant for them a lot of trees and flowers, like you saw the calyandras and fruit trees around. And you make sure that you give them water. There should always be a water point where they can easily get water, and they will be able to produce for you a lot of honey. We actually have honey here. We do manifest honey, which we pack, and then we are able to take to supermarkets.
How much is a liter?
A liter of our premium honey goes for 30,000 shillings. It is premium because we process it in a very unique way, in that there is less contact with the honey. That means after picking the comb, we sort out the comb, and then we process it using natural methods. For example, using the sun. We filter it using the sun, and then we have very pure, clean honey. Yes.
How many times do you harvest honey in a year?
We harvest monthly. It is always very good to check your hives very monthly. There is always honey there, and the more you harvest, the more you keep the bees very busy. Because most times the mistake people do is they harvest once in a year. All this time the bees are making honey and consuming it. So you have a lot of combs which are black, a lot of combs which are wasted. But when you harvest your honey every month, you harvest the one which is sealed. Even if it is small, you harvest and keep. You realize that the bees will be very active, always producing what? Producing honey. So whoever harvests every month or checks every month, and whoever harvests once or twice in a year, the one who harvests every day is likely to have a better quality output than the one who harvests once in a while.
Yes. Shade for the youth outside there.
Yes.
Your last words for the youth.
My words for the youth is this. One, stop complaining about jobs, because there are jobs near you. Everywhere there are jobs.
Wow.
Number two, embrace farming. Farming is the surest way of getting what? Employed. Three, start small. A chicken can make a difference in your life. And go very, very slowly. Make sure you persevere. The problem with us youth is that you need quick money. You cannot wait for 2 or 3 days. Just persevere. Do farming the right way. Get knowledge. The money will follow you.
You are watching Ludbara Gallery TV, promoting Ludbara culture. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.